So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little store-bought Rice Krispie treats and I am going to squeeze them and roll them into a ball shape. Of course, all pumpkins are different shapes, so you can do whatever shapes that you would like. So now I'm taking my veining tool and I'm just like making the indentations that a pumpkin would have. I also took the ball type tool and kind of made my center so that way I would have like my indentation at the top. And like I said, I'm just dragging the veining tool down into the Rice Krispie treat, really pressing down to give that definition. Now I'm rolling out my fondant. You kind of want your fondant kind of thick because you're going to be using your veining tool again just to deepen those creases. And you're just going to pull it and smooth it out and just keep pulling it. I tried not to get any creases toward the bottom, but I did kind of get some. I did take my fondant scissors and I cut some of the excess so it would lay more flat. So I wouldn't have so many creases, but there are some pumpkins that have other little nooks and crannies towards the bottom. But this is what I'm doing here, is just smoothing it out, trying to get all the fondant towards the bottom with as less creases as possible. And now I'm just taking my veining tool and I'm just going over the creases that I had already made in the pumpkin. This is why you need your fondant on a little bit on the thicker side, because you're going to be going over it with a veining tool, so you want to have like that thickness, and you also don't want to have like the impression of the Rice Krispie treat underneath of the fondant. So yeah, that's why you want to have a nice thickness. So now you can do that in any color and you can repeat. Here I'm doing, now the black pumpkin was only one Rice Krispie treat and the other two were actually two Rice Krispies squished together. But the black one itself was actually just one Rice Krispie treat. So I just made a nice smaller size pumpkin. Alright, so now I'm just making my unicorn horns. We all probably know how to make unicorn horns by now, but if not, you just roll out a snake. You kind of taper it off at the edges, leaving the middle a little on the thicker side, then fold it in half and taper them off, twist it. And then what I did is I just cut the bottom off and like just kind of shaped up the top so it would have a nice point. I am making these in white, but I do kind of remake them later in the video and you will see why. Okay, moving on to the ears, I just made a little teardrop and pinched it and then put my ball tool right in the middle just to flatten it out to give a little inner ear indentation. So now I just rolled a little like spaghetti, I guess, or a little strand of fondant, and I'm wrapping it around a toothpick to make like a little curly cue or just make little curls or whatever. This is a fun way too. You can make like little, I always call them curly cues. You can put them on top of a present. You can also make it look like the vines of a pumpkin. But here I'm doing it in all different colors, and I'm just wrapping them around this really long toothpick. And I'm going to kind of let them harden up a little bit, and that's going to be my unicorn's hair / mane. You can do whatever colors you want to go with whatever pumpkins you want. So right here, what I'm doing is I took some of my orange powdered food coloring and put just a smidge of black in it. And I'm going to color that in my crease, in my pumpkin creases on the orange pumpkin. The only reason why I added the black in it was just to kind of give it a little bit more definition. If I had brown, I probably would have used the brown instead, but I actually don't have brown food coloring, the powder, but it just gives it a nice soft look and really like enhances those creases and everything. And I really liked how it looked. If you wanted to stop right here, you could and just have a plain pumpkin and add a stalk and some leaves and curly cues to it. This one I decided to do a yellow. There's a reason why, because I'm going to make this like a little candy corn unicorn pumpkin, kind of like the inspiration I saw at the of those Wilton pieces. So I'm just putting like a little bit of yellow just in the creases and just kind of defining the lines and everything and making it look super cute. Right here, you really can't see, but what I'm doing is I took my airbrush Midnight Black and my very fine paintbrush from my cakes, and I am painting on the eyes for the unicorn. I decided to do this first to kind of let them dry a little bit while I work on some other pieces. For the black pumpkin, I actually took a metallic silver. The white actually did not show up, so I'm using a metallic silver just to kind of go over them, and I'm gonna let that dry. It actually took a couple coats, and then I stuck my finger in it, and I was so upset. So here I have the 3 white horns, but I actually changed one of them to a black horn. And here I'm taking my orange airbrush color and I'm painting the unicorn horn. I'm going to paint it orange and yellow to kind of resemble candy corn, or orange, yellow, and white. And I'm going to leave some of the parts white just to resemble that candy corn horn that I saw. Say that 5 times fast. Candy corn horn that I saw that Wilton makes. If you wanted to buy those, you could. Just to kind of save time, because it also came with the matching ears and everything. So if you wanted to, like I said, you could do that. But I just made my own, and I still think it came out pretty cute. So I put that off to the side to dry. All right, here comes the fun time to assemble. My suggestion is, I think that you should put the horn on first, and you put your ears, and then you can put your curly cues on to the pumpkin, so that way if you want to hide the horn or whatever, you can put leaves on here. Decorate this any way you want to. I did make some white ears, but I changed my mind and made orange ears to go with the orange pumpkin. I am using the back of the paintbrush because it's a little pointy, and these did harden up. If you want to have some harden, that's fine, but I would also suggest to maybe do some while it's still soft, so you can really position them how you want. Like if you wanted to do some in the front. This one, I'm just kind of doing all the little Halloween-y colors. And my black fondant, this is a Wilton fondant, but it kept drying so fast and cracking and breaking. And I was kind of getting a little sad and frustrated about it, but it is what it is. But I was getting a little frustrated because all my little black curly cues broke. Like I said, you can add as many as you like. You can also add flowers. You can add whatever you want to these. This is just like a quick little basic fun, little design that I just did. I was inspired by the one video that I saw earlier. But yeah, so I'm just putting on some candy corn colors on this one. I just did the orange, the white, and the yellow. And I still think it came out really, really cute. As you guys know, me and my pearl dust. So I've taken some white pearl dust and I'm putting it on the horn and the inside of the ears just to give it that sparkle. And I'm doing the same thing on the black pumpkin with my black pearl dust. I did the horn and I did the inside of the ears.